All right, I'm at the Phoenix getting ready to see Voivod. First time ever seeing Voivod live. I know this is sacrilege, this Canadian iconic band, and I'm only seeing them now after so many years, but you know, sometimes good things come to those that wait, and I think this is going to be a great thing. So I'm looking forward to the show. There's quite a few bands on the bill, but let's face the facts, everybody's here for Voivod, and so am I. So let's go on, let's check it out. We're gonna see what the merch is all about, and as I'm getting ready to walk out of the car, it's starting to rain. Kind of ironic, don't you think?
All right, guys, I've got two more for you. This one's probably a music video.
Waiting in line at McDonald's. Nothing says concert night as McDonald's on the way home. I'm starving, I didn't have dinner, and this is much needed fuel before driving the last couple of kilometers and reaching home. So McDonald's it is, drive through it is, double quarter pounder it is. I got my double quarter pounder. I'm a happy camper. I love McDonald's after a show. It just makes everything 1,000 times better, and a double quarter pounder is exactly what I need. Before giving you guys a little bit of a rundown of what this show was all about. So I'm not gonna film myself eating, but just imagine me chewing on this wonderful double quarter pounder, and then we'll talk about the show. Hey guys, so I'm here. I'm at home. I just arrived and I just finished my burger. I wolfed that down quickly. So I'm here to talk about the show. First of all, I want to say that the headliner came on. Voivod came on at 11 o'clock at night. That's late for Toronto standards. Normally, that's when the show is finishing off. So it didn't impact negatively the experience, but it's just something that I wanted to mention because it's not something you see every day, at least not in Toronto. But anyways, the night started off with Corrosive, a band from Toronto, a band that I've seen before. This performance was way better than the previous time that I saw this band. They felt a little bit more loose. They felt a little bit more relaxed. They were not intimidated by the circumstances that they were in. And they put on a great show, great performance. To have two really strong guitar players, a great drummer, a very good bass player as well. The lead singer has power, he has drive, he has aggression. He needs to work a little bit more on his stage presence, specifically when you have a little bit more room to wander around as he did today. But overall, I do wish that their set was longer. It was a little bit too short because they were really good at what they did. And tonight, once again, they did a much better performance than the previous time that I saw them. Then after them came in Trois, a band from Montreal. Not a big fan of this band. They had an interesting sound, but I wasn't a big fan of the lead singer, and I honestly felt like they were a little bit lacking. They didn't have, they just didn't have the sound for me. They didn't have the approach that I was looking for, and they definitely didn't fill the stage as well as Corrosive did. But then after them came Ear of the Cobra. Now, this is a band from Seattle, a band that I had never heard of before, and when I saw two people come on stage, a drummer and the bassist, who's also the lead singer, I was a little bit taken back. Like, two people? That's it? I mean, it's not unheard of, but you don't see a band like this every day. They're like a doom stoner band, and it felt like there was more than just two people on stage. They have a big sound. Their sound feels a lot bigger than at first glance when you just look at a drummer and a bass player. I really enjoy their sound. Was different, not something you hear every day. The bass was really interesting because at times it felt more like a guitar sound than it did a bass. So really interesting way of using these two instruments plus the vocals, so technically three instruments, in order to create a bigger atmosphere, a bigger drive, a better sound experience. Really interesting band, really interesting sound. Like I said, a band that I've never heard of before, but it will definitely stay in my mind because the performance, the sound, the experience, the atmosphere was perfect for the night. And then next came Voivod, Canadian iconic band. Iconic, I think that's the only word to describe Voivod. And this was my first time seeing them. Finally, I got to see Voivod live. And I really enjoy their performance. It was late, like I said. They came on around 11 o'clock, so later than usual for Toronto standards, but they put on a great performance. Now, the place wasn't packed, but I really felt like the audience that was there wanted to give the band 110%, and the band wanted to give the audience 110%. Because of that, the number didn't really matter for the atmosphere, for the vibe of the show. The crowd was lit. Everybody was into it. People were singing along. People were vibing to the music. They've been waiting for this show for a very long time, and nobody really cared about those that didn't show up, because the ones that were there, they were there in spades, and so was the band. It was a lot of fun to see Voivod play in Toronto. They put on a great set, great show, incorporating old material with new material. They have a new album, so obviously they threw in a bunch of tracks from the new record, including the title track, one of my favorite songs from the record. So it was a really good performance, a really good show from them. They have the ability to work with a crowd and work with a crowd really well, but by letting their music do the talking, do the work. They're not necessarily one of those bands that breaks between songs to interact with the audience. It's more about the vibe of the music, what you're getting out of it, and then how you interact with it. And Voivod, they've been around for a very long time. They know exactly what to do, and they do it really well. Great night of music, a lot of great bands, a lot of great discoveries, at least for me. Year of the Cobra definitely is a standout band as far as I'm concerned, because I had never heard of them before. But the night was complete with Voivod. They put on a great performance, great set, great show, great musicianship, just phenomenal bunch of guys. Great Canadian band. They're touring right now in North America. I'm going to put the listings on the description of this video, so if you're interested in going check them out, don't miss it. And don't miss the opening band, specifically Year of the Cobra. I'm almost 100% sure anybody that goes to see Voivod, they're really going to find this band interesting and they're going to gravitate towards it. So check both bands out. Be there early. Make sure you don't miss anything. And I'll see you guys at the next video.